Good evening, folks. Tonight we're diving into the recent New York Times coverage of LDS missionary changes over the past few years. First up, forget the days of knocking on doors with a classic suit and tie. The church is going digital, folks. Missionaries are trading pavement pounding for social media surfing, and the church claims it's working. With more and more young folks glued to their screens, reaching out online just makes sense. And let's talk attire. Sister missionaries in some missions get to say goodbye to skirts and hello to pants. And male missionaries in some missions can now wear a colored shirt, once a subtle cue in ward attire that indicated you were a rebel or that you touched your little factory producing way too much life giving substance. And in some missions, no tie is required at all. But this is at a time when some adult church members, claiming to be faithful and worthy, are for the first time ever avoiding wearing the garment of the holy priesthood, sport the coolest 70s porn stash, and wear a pearl necklace. Isn't that pretty? Now get off my lawn. But why the switch? Well, according to church leaders, it's all about keeping things normal and natural. In other words, they're trying to meet people where they're at. But the underlying message is that the clean cut suit and tie and dresses attire of the past was beginning to clash with social expectations too strongly, and that too much rigidity was rubbing this generation of Mormon young adults the wrong way, diminishing interest in a mission. And Mormonism, if nothing else, is always willing to adapt, even at the expense of changing doctrines and theology once thought to be true and unchangeable. Now, this shift didn't happen overnight. It's been a gradual evolution, sparked in part by the pandemic. With in person gatherings off the table, the church had to get creative. And boy, did they ever. Missionaries are now armed with smartphones, weekly family calls, and more flexibility than ever before. But don't worry, some things haven't changed. You still don't get to pick where you're sent, and those mission announcement parties are still a thing. But hey, at least now you can wear pants and a blue shirt to the shindig. Overall, these changes seem to be paying off. Missionary numbers are on the rise, and more young people are answering the call to serve. Well, that's if you don't believe the Widow's Mite report, where they claim this is just a blip created by COVID that actually will have the numbers returning to a downward decrease in just a year or thereabouts. But I agree, it absolutely is a sign of the church moving with the times. Some see the shift in dress code as a sign that the church was listening to its younger members. And for that, I say kudos to the LDS Church. Now, if you can just start listening to the women generally. The New York Times article seems all too eager to shine a positive light on the LDS Church and its missionaries, and the church was thrilled to tell its members about the coverage. But only time will tell what kinds of differences this leads to for future generations of membership and how it will affect the numbers and tithing revenue. So there you have it, folks. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter day Saints is embracing the digital age, one pant leg at a time.